Hello, everybody, and welcome to this online discussion organized by KineDok. My name is Andrei Mihail, and I will be moderating this session. So, our topic today is romanticizing small villages through sport, and our conversation is related to the documentary Vulturii din Țaga, a film about a rural football team from Transylvania. In doing so, we hope to cover subjects as sport's impact on small communities, its modes of subsistence in the shadow of the big urban clubs, and how sport is used for shaping images of rural life. You can still watch the film on KineDok until tomorrow evening, so be sure to check out the platform. Today's guests are Adina, Popescu, and Iulian Ghervas, the directors of the documentary. Adina is also a cultural journalist for some of Romania's most important publications and works as a selector for the Astra Film Festivals and other film festivals in Romania. Iulian has over 10 years of experience in television and film production. His filmography, including some feature-length documentaries broadcast on national television channels TVR or HBO Romania, and has several awards and nominations at documentary festivals. Last but not least is here with us Péter Csillag, who is a journalist and sport historian who authored several books about the sociological, cultural, and historical aspects of sports, focusing a lot of his work on Hungarian rural football. So welcome everybody, and thank you for being with us today and trying to understand a little bit on how football explains the rural world, as Franklin Fowler, an American journalist, said some time ago.
Hello everybody, and thank you for the invitation.
Hello. Hello, thank you for inviting us. How can we proceed?
Yes, I have some questions that I would like to ask you, focusing on your work on the documentary, on the studies that Péter held. So I will start the discussion with a personal curiosity, which is triggered by some of the images that we tend to associate with rural activities, and I'm including here sports practices. As from my experience working a lot with football from a sociological or anthropological point of view, many of these images are shaped by some stereotypes that are heavily perpetuated by some of the most important media outlets in describing rural life, who are creating an image of, let's say, subtle primitivism dominated by alcoholism, aggressivity, moral and political corruption, and so on. For example, on sport-related issues in Romania, telling example is the county football, Fotbal la Județ, a series of reports on rural football from Gazeta Sporturilor, which is our main sports newspaper. And this series is described by its authors as a special reports to present the picturesque county football. So I think it's a good starting point of our discussion on romanticizing rural life through sports. And I think we can find similar examples in many other places. So this is why I'm addressing my first question to Péter. who conducted an in-depth exploration on rural football in Hungary. If you're not familiar with his work, I strongly recommend everybody to check out his Backyard Goals project. So, Péter, can you tell us what are the most common stereotypes about rural football of the Hungarian public that you hope your work could change?
Yes, you are absolutely right, and we experience quite the same in Hungary. But first of all, let me congratulate for the film and to the makers of the film, to Adina and Iulian, Manuel, because I think this is one of the most important and most particular football films in recent years. I really liked it, and there was a screening in Hungary in Sátoraljaújhely, in a small village. No, it's a small town in eastern Hungary, and the audience loved it a lot. So yeah, it's a fantastic film. So let's start with that, and then yes, well, unfortunately, it is the same situation in Hungary. So when the media talks about amateur football or football matches from the lower level, it is in most of the cases because there was a scandal in the match, because the referee was hit, or there was strong alcoholism, or something which is somehow shocking to the people, and I didn't like that, and what I was what my point was is a change of depicting this special word. So when I started this project that you have mentioned, which is in English version Backyard Goals, but in Hungarian Hátsó Füves, it has a homepage. There is an exhibition about it. There was a bilingual book published in English and Hungarian a couple of years ago, and there is also a photo exhibition. So it's a multi project. So when I started it in 2015, I wanted to show a different image of this word. So I wanted to talk to the people who are involved in small villages team, and to show somehow what their life is in real. So what is important for them, and to have an aspect, and to have somehow a more respectful aspect, talking about their lives. And I think football is a very good language to show a lot of things in life. So we can talk with the help of football about society, about religion, about ethnic issues, about the youth generation's problems, about how small villages live today, and that's what I'm interested in, and that is what Hátsó Füves or Backyard Goals series is about.
Yeah, once again, I think that Franklin Fowler coined this expression very good, how football explains the world, because football is not only looking to football is not only looking to the game, but looking to different social realities which are being constructed by and behind the game. Adina and Iulian, I'm addressing this next question to you. Before shooting the film, how did you perceive rural sports? And maybe you can tell us a little bit about how your fieldwork experience changed these perceptions.
First of all, I'm very glad that the Hungarian audience enjoyed our film, and I'm sure that there are a lot of similarities between the little teams in Hungary and the little teams in Romania. actually the teams from Transylvania are making these tournaments every year in the summer in Hungary, because we are neighbors, and there are villages that already have some relation between the administration, and they send the team to Hungary and they play some matches together. So I'm sure that the things are pretty the same. I wasn't at all familiar with sports and football in the village before this film. For me, and I think from Iulian also, it was a sort of, like you said, anthropological instrument to get closer to these communities, because nowadays they don't have other activities that gather people once a week, let's say. There is the church, and all people used to go to the church, and the other people, the men, go to the stadium and have these organized matches in the last league. So there are official matches. It is for amateurs, but they are official, with official referees, official equipment. So there is for them a good reason to meet each other, and let's say they have a drink after the matches and they comment what is happening. And there are a lot of gossip between the village about the other teams, that the mayor of the village, I don't know, 2 kilometers ago, that giving more to the football players than our mayor. They give I don't know, sausages after the game, and beer, and free beer. So there are a lot of gossips about the communities, and we started with the idea this is a very bad team, so it was on the last place from 3 seasons or something like this. What is happening? Why the things didn't work between them? Why the things are not working in the community to be better in a way? And there are what is the problem? The dynamic problem into such of football team that could represent the community in a way. So this was, I don't know, the subject of the field, and we found this particular team, and another reason that we go further with them, it was the main character, the manager of the team and the trainer, because he was pushing very hard to make the things work. So he tried to gather the people to participate in the championship, to take care on the maintenance of the stadium. He did everything alone. So it was a question also for us, how this single man is succeeded to make alone all these things related with the maintenance and administration of the team. Julian, if you want to say something more about the topic. And
yeah, we started to follow more than one characters, and in the end we found out it's impossible to follow so many lines in the documentary. And in the end we choose Nelu as the hero and the representative of all others, because the team was changing week by week. It's not the same players. They, like, how should I now?
Come and go.
So, okay.
And you asked after we finished, what was the effect of this? For me personally, it was a pure therapy to go every Sunday to this type of matches, and it was completely my head. It's very clean, and it was a little gallery there, and we eat something. These seeds that we eat in Romania, and it was. Such a joy to see these people on the stadium, on the pit, with so much passion for nothing, because there is not goals, not any money. So it is, but it's the same passion like in the first league. So it's and it was very relaxing for me to see this type of game.
I think this is the most important experience for many football supporters, regardless the league their team is playing on, because you follow your team not only for results but also for going out, for meeting your friends, for drinking a beer, and have this sort of group life that each one of us actually needs. So maybe because I think that your movie shows a very interesting perspective, an anthropological perspective, I can say, about what failed team can actually mean for its community, because as you said, on football level the team was not great. I'm being polite here, of course, but on the sociological, on the social part of its existence, it's important for this community, because people gather and so on. So I'll go to my next question, which is kind of related to what you said, Adina. What do you think is football's, from your experience, and this is a question addressed to all of you, so what do you think is football's and sports' social relevance for the rural areas of our country, and why should it be developed more at this level?
Yeah, I think, yeah, okay, just go on.
No, please. I will think about it.
Okay.
Okay, Péter.
So what I really like in this film is that it's very, very realistic, and the character of Nelu, Mr. Nelu, he's also very simple. So he's someone who you know from your neighborhood, who can be anyone in that village, because he has no special, I don't know, special humor or special gestures or something, but that is, I think, the one of the strongest point of this film, that it doesn't want to show something which is not about the reality. It is the reality, which is in many cases boring, or it is just very spontaneous, and it's not something which is uh, which is a big story, which is a story that needs a happy end or something like that. The happy end is here, that finally they get the special machine to draw the lines, and yeah, that's the happy end. So I think that is a very good point of view to talk about this word with the methods of a documentary. And then yeah, it's about commitment, and I really like that in this film you can feel that the people involved in the team, the players, the manager, the supporters, are really keen on doing something good to win a game finally, because normally they lose. And and I think this is also a very important value in this level, the grassroots football, that the sacrifice, the personal sacrifice is there. So when you look at the normal days of Mr. Nelu, he has sometimes debates with his wife or with his family. He has to take apart his job, because there is something to do about the football team. He has to travel to Cluj to do something with the administration, or he has to meet the mayor, or I don't know. So it is also a very beautiful part of this film, and but not only this film, but this world, the world of grassroots football. And what is very special, I think, is that in these levels you can feel that it is your reality. So the bonds are more natural than in the the big level. So when you go to a first division game, you can see the players running on the pitch, but they are not your players. They are players who are paid for doing that, and maybe they have nothing special. They have no feelings about the club, about the place, about the town, about the supporters. They just do what they do because they get money for that. But when you go to a small village, you can see that these people are really part of the community, and for the community, the team is somehow a kind of symbol or a way to express what they are and what they are proud of. And I think this Țaga team shows this in a perfect way. So yeah, I think this is a beautiful confession about commitment, about sacrifice, about perseverance, and fight against all hopelessness. Because maybe we will talk about these phenomena later, but there are a lot of things which make more and more difficult the organizing of a team or to go on, because the things have changed a lot in the last 10, 20 or 30 years. Yeah.
Could you find, I guess you did, but can you tell us if you find like similar persons as the main character of Vulturii din Țaga in your work in Hungarian football?
Yes, there are a lot of similar characters, and I think that is also a clue to go on for a team, because if you have someone who is really committed, who is somehow respected in the football community there, and who can take his time, his money, his energy to organize the team, to call the players, to I don't know, prepare the pitch or to organize the administration, then the team can exist and go on. But if there is nobody there, and I think it's more and more difficult to find somebody who is ready to give his free time to a team. Somehow this volunteer mentality has become weaker, I think, or that is what I experience here in Hungary. But I think it's more or less the same in Romania. So Mr. Nelu is an absolutely positive character in this sense, and yeah, there are some, and yeah, there are many in Hungarian grassroots football as well. One of them, just who has come in mind now, is Tukacs László. He's a local teacher and a coach in Turistrandi, which is a very small village in eastern Hungary. And I talked a lot about the football team with him, and we made a documentary together, a film with 4 episodes, and we also published a book about his experiences, 30 years of experiences in that region, about not only about football, but about how the local society changed, and how the way of living has changed, how people have had a different aspect in football. And I think he's, for example, one of the silent saints of Hungarian football, if I can use this expression.
And Péter, like you said, these teams are symbols for the villages, and even the names are symbolical. The eagles and other teams are victory or progress, so they use big names. There are very little and anonymous words, and they are trying to show off, to show something else. They count on the map of a country. They count with these teams of football teams, on not only with this. I think referring to the football, for us, it was a pretext, and they didn't understand in the beginning, the players and Nelu. They thought, they felt very embarrassed because they thought we came there to make fun of them, because there were some articles in the local press, and it was said in the articles, the worst team in the country. They lost with, I don't know, 10-0 or something like this. And they didn't understand why we shut, for example, the discussion between him and his wife, him counting the chicken in the yard. This is not related with the football, he said. Yes, it's not related with the football, but we want to show your life in this community, and your life with the football team, and your efforts to keep this football team alive. The main problems, I think, for football in the villages, this little football, let's say, it is the lack of money in the first place, that there are no funds for this team. They are playing just for fun, and sometimes there are the little funds for equipment, or this stadium that is this pitch, which was developed with the European money, some European project. And the lack of players, this is, I think, the main problem, because the players are or very young, in high school, I don't know, 17, 18, or very old. The middle age, the age in the middle players are living from these villages. They go to Cluj or a big city to work, or they go abroad to work in the Western country. And there is always a change of players. Sometimes there is a couple of father and son, but the son will live and work in Germany, and only the father stays. And you can form a team with people that are always in this migration. And of course, there are some other problems on the local plan, because they on Sundays go to weddings or parties, and they are hangover in Sunday morning, and the network had to give the phone, wake up and come to the field, because we have a match today. So, but the most important is this effort to gather 11 people able to play football every Sunday. If you want to send more.
Yeah, I want to ask Peter if in Hungary is the same. The villages are depopulated. No more young people there, because they go to work in Germany or France, and it's a problem for football. Of course, they have this problem because no new players in the town, in the village.
Yeah, I think football is an indicator of the social changes in this way, and it is somehow a mirror of the demographical changes and tendencies. And yeah, I can give you statistics about that, because I try to get numbers, and I can tell you that since 2000, so in the last 24 years, more than 25% of the Hungarian teams ceased. So that is the tendency. We don't talk about that a lot, because what you can see in the window is the elite football and the positive tendencies, and yeah, the support for the team and for football. But if you look at the background, and if you try to get a more realistic picture of these levels, then you can see that many teams just have to give up, because yes, what Adina has mentioned is absolutely true, that there are less and less young people to play for a team, because many of them leave the small village and go to towns or go abroad. And that is also true that this is the generation, the active footballing generation. So from the age of 18 until the age of, I don't know, 35, 40, which is missing, because I think they are the most movable generation. So they tend to go to other places to find a better job, or to I don't know, for family reasons or something. So they are very mobile.
Also have football players on 50, like in Romania. So there are in Hungarians.
Yes, and then I would turn back to our project Hátsófüves and Backyard Goals, because we have a special initiative which started 2 years ago, which is about these defunct teams. So we had a very strange idea to form a team, a project team that is called Zemplén Phoenix, and we go to places where the local team doesn't exist anymore, and we invite the local non-existing team to play a game against us. So for one day, for one match, they gather again, and they are there. They prepare the pitch, which is also a big challenge and also a positive adventure for them to be there and to, I don't know, prepare the dress and the dressing room and everything. So we play a game against the local team, and this is also an occasion to grab all the information about the local football history. So we organize a small football exhibition in these villages about their football history. So the old photos, the old dresses, and the old stories are being shown there, and we also have a public conversation with 2 or 3 people who were important somehow there as a big player, it's in this local sense, and then there is the game, and we also organize a cultural event, which the cat. Yes,
Always the cat.
a cultural event, which is part of this program, because I believe that football is not a phenomenon which we have to see in its own, but it is part of the big picture, and that's why I find it important to have a cultural or a local historical part of this program. So there is also I don't know, a visit at the local small museum, or a visit at the local church, or they perform a dance or a local, I don't know, a folk music program. So there is also something which is put there apart from the football, and that is a very interesting program like this, that is about living again for the team, and to wake up, and it's very, very motivating to see these teams play against after, I don't know, 5, 10, or in some cases 20 years, and the pitches which are alive again and which are in use. Yeah, we started this, and now it is it works in different region of Hungary. So now we started it in the Zemplén region. Now there is another Phoenix team in Zala, and the third in Szatmár. So with different regions, more and more villages are involved, and this initiative got the award, the grassroots award from UEFA in the best social initiative last year, and also the best non-professional sports program in Hungary. So we have had good feedbacks, and we try to go on, and it's very motivating, and it is based on this experience that there are a lot of teams which are not active, but what is also important that these communities are passively alive, and if you go there and invite them to join the game and to play again, then they are happy to go, and they are there like nothing has happened in the last 10 years when there was no football game on the pitch.
You mentioned UEFA, and I would like to discuss a little bit about them, because it's one of the most, I think, it's the wealthiest football organization in the world, which develops some sort of grassroots football development programs and so on. But do you think that these programs, are they really making an impact on this level of rural football in small villages, in places where maybe, I don't know, the demographical problems are the one all of you mentioned and so on? Can we see an improvement from this point of view, coming from the big organizations that are coordinating like huge amounts of money and sponsors and so on?
Yes, it's a very good question, and I think this is the point where there is a big difference between the social aspect and the football aspect. Because if you look at this thing from the football point of view, then you wait for the teams to get reorganized and to start playing again in the regular football championships, because that would be a positive impact. And there are some positive signs, I would say, because after these games there is also a strong I don't know, enthusiasm, and they want to play again, but not in the regular championship, because there are objective problems which can't be solved by these occasions. But yes, there were later games which were organized by them, and that's fantastic. I think that's a good impact from the point of view, from the sport point of view. From the social point of view, the big impact is in the community, and I think that's more important. That there were a lot of feedbacks like, oh, I haven't talked about my old friend since, I don't know, 2015, and now we are here again, and it was a good occasion to talk about him. And families, young people, children are there. They have a positive example of how a community program looks like, because that's also an important thing. That you have also mentioned this, that many times you can see that there is no alternative. So there are no cultural programs, there is no Sometimes even the pub is closed, and people just can't go anywhere, and they shut the door, they watch television, they drink beer at home, they I don't know, play on computer games, and the social communication and relations are getting weaker and weaker. And if you have a program like this, which is I think not about sport, but about meeting others and talk to others, and yeah, to show some strength of the village. So again, something which they can be proud of. That can be positive, and that can motivate them to yeah, to go on, and to talk again with those people who were there, and that football has an impact like that, and it is worth giving sacrifice and organize these football matches.
And how about Romania? Adina or Iulian, did you see any impacts of this kind of projects that the big football organizations are coordinating regarding the rural areas that you visited?
Yeah, well, one more thing that it's important, that UEFA is not coordinating this program, so this is an absolutely, it's a civil initiative that we organize, absolutely non-profit. Well, in fact, we have to pay for these things, so it is yeah, it has received this very honorable award from UEFA, but it is not I don't know, UEFA financed thing. Yeah.
And my question was
Yes.
related to grassroots projects that UEFA is coordinating, which are different from the awards that you received.
Yes.
I didn't hear of this type of initiative in Romania. Did you hear about something similar? I don't know that there is something similar.
No, I think on a more general, more general way, like if you can feel with your the fieldwork you did, could you feel any impact of these big football organizations on the activity of rural teams that you interacted with? Because you said, Iulian said earlier that you started your project by documenting several teams.
No, I don't think.
As far as I know, in Slovakia, there is a campaign, a huge campaign, with a lot of money, in which is involved also Slovakian Football Federation and the national Slovakian team, and they have such a big campaign to revive the sport and the football in a small villages. But in Romania, I don't think so.
No.
The problem is, I think, besides football and sport, it's economic, because Romania is not capable to hold the young people in the country, not in the small villages. They don't have any future there. So how can keep them in the villages and play football or something else? So it's a general problem here. Any campaign, I think, would be a fail, because first, what can I do at 20 years in Țaga? Nothing. I have to go where? In Cluj or in Bucharest, or I don't know, in Germany to work.
Nelu told us that 10 years ago or 20 years ago, he used to make scoutings in school for the team. So he went to local school and trying to find the little kids who have talent and something like this. But not anymore, because even this impact for at this level, the little kids, it's not positive anymore. They are not interesting in the game, and they have the technology, they have the phones, they have the computers.
Not all of them, maybe,
but the most of them, and this could be also a problem. There are in the cities, in the big cities, some parents that push the kids to do sport, to do football, but usually they pay a lot of money for this. It's not free. It's not there are not organizations that are trying to find the talented kids, and not anymore. So it's on the other hand, there remember the golden age of the Romanian football in the communist regime, and the 10 years after the communist regime, the generation with Hagi, Gica Popescu, and even Nelu explained us that in that time the Eagles from Țaga, it was a very big team, and it was a derby, a real derby between them and another village, 10 kilometers ago. And the same with the audience, the spectators. A lot of people came to the local pitch and see these matches. Not anymore. So even the people from the village are not coming and participate, because why? You will lose anyway. There is no I don't know cum să spun, Liza. There is no like in a
relationship, that's some sort of stronger ties.
That relationship between, and they used to go to the buses, to even local buses, and a huge bus was crowded with the people to go to another village to see their own village team and to see the game. So it is even this stadium they made with some Europeans found. It has a big. It was a project.
Yeah, it was a project. Yeah.
Cum să spune, the night light. They have the night light and things like
light,
this. Yes, useless, because there will not be a game in the night there. It is just a project that they made, and now Eagles from Țaga, after the pandemic, the pandemic times, doesn't exist anymore. Let's hope next year they will succeed to gather again and to be in the championship. But that this year it wasn't in the championship. It was the first time after 10 or 20 years they couldn't do it this year. Even Nelu is now a local hero after the film was launched. So everybody now saw the film in the area, and he's in the newspapers, local newspapers. He likes this posture, but he doesn't have the team anymore.
What was their main performance? Do you know? Like across their history, what was their best results? I'm talking about Vulturii din Țaga.
In the 80s, I think, when the Nelu used to play in the team, I think it wasn't. It was always in the last league. Not he couldn't go farther in the fourth. This is the five.
Third?
No, not third. Fourth. This is the fifth league. So no,
because there was only 3 leagues in the communist period.
Maybe you know better. It was 3 leagues, I think, in the communist.
It depends on the county, but okay, it doesn't.
A, B, and C. In
But they weren't on the last place, so they had a better place in the hierarchy.
I think this opens up an interesting topic about football's role as a social mobility tool for youngsters coming from rural areas, or maybe from poor neighborhoods from our cities, because I think this sort of energy that you mentioned that used to exist before 1989 concerning football players or football crowds and so on was also generated by the fact that you could feel that somebody from your village or from your neighborhood could actually play football and be scouted by some of Romania's or maybe Hungary's best team and go forward with his career, which coming to our days doesn't seem like a real possibility for career development for any young player in our areas, right?
Yes, there's a little detail about the stadium mentioned by Adina. The new stadium built with European money. So they blame the mayor because the old stadium was in the center of the village, near the pub, another very important point in the village, the church and the pub. And now it's very far away, and
they built it outside the village.
Outside the village. So it's very hard for the public, for the audience, to go by walking to see the matches. So
it should be in the center of the yes,
or close to. I don't know.
And I think it's a general problem that like the Romanian government invested huge amounts of money in big infrastructure project like big stadiums in the big cities, but there's no funds which have been dedicated to rural areas for different projects and so on. But maybe Péter can tell us a little bit more about the situation in Hungary. I know that Viktor Orban is a very strong supporter of football development. He had some projects even in Romania with teams from Miercurea Ciuc and Sfântu Gheorghe, but how are his policies shaping this level of football you looked into?
Well, there have been a lot of development in Hungarian football, that is without doubt. And if you look at the infrastructure or the possibilities of the clubs, it is absolutely different than the infrastructure was, I don't know, 20 years ago. But at the same time, you can see that football is getting more and more centralized. So there are the big clubs, the big centers, and under the big clubs there are the town clubs where young people get better opportunities because the pitches are better. There is, I don't know, artificial grass, and there are trainers who are better prepared than the ones who work in small villages. So a young man or a child who wants to be a football player normally goes to a bigger club, and yeah, well, I think there he has better opportunities to climb up and to reach the second or the first division, and maybe one day reach the national team. So I think it works like that. But if again, there is a difference between the football and the social aspect, because if you look this from the social aspect, then you can see that the people, the players, the energies, and all the capacities are concentrated on the bigger clubs, and when a young child goes from a village to a town, then the town team is stronger because there is a talented young boy or a girl who can do something good for the team. But at the same time, the village has lost someone, the same young boy or girl, and yeah, I have concrete experiences about that. Sometimes a small village team can't go on because of this, because the players go to bigger teams, which is good for football, good for Hungarian football, but not good for the local village community. So that's a kind of conflict of interest, and yes, I think we have to talk about that. In the meantime, it is also true that that money is very dangerous, I think, in amateur level. So yes, a lot of people say that we can't organize a team, we can't build a dressing room, we can't have normal players because we don't have enough money. But I think it's not that simple, because I have seen that many places money killed football. Because if you have too much money, then the local bonds, the natural traditions, the examples that you inherited from your father, from your grandfather, are getting I don't know, erased. So when you have money to pay somebody who can play better, who comes from another area or from a different region, then in his place the local guy can't play. So it is also very dangerous. And as soon as the sponsor or the, I don't know, mayor loses his interest or doesn't want to give more money, then the team just falls apart, and there is nothing. So in many cases, there were teams that went up from the, I don't know, sixth or seventh division of Hungarian football to the fourth or third division, which was a great success for them. And then the balloon just I don't know, explored, and then the team just ceased to exist. And that's also a problem. So I wouldn't say that money can solve all the problems. It's true that you need money to organize a team, and it's a useful thing, but it is also very dangerous. Yes. So I think you have to find somehow the right balance, to have the local guys, to have the material instruments and all the conditions to organize the team, but don't have too much. And that's a very very hard question, because now it's difficult to find this balance.
And I think this is a very interesting thing to think about on a longer term. How do we, because as you said, we need money, but then how do we make things right in order for money not to corrupt or break local traditions and different social realities of small scale football, let's say, because otherwise football has been massively corrupted by money, as we know from the big championships of Europe. So unfortunately, although I would love to continue our discussion for many hours, I must end it, as I am very limited by my colleagues from KineDok, who set up the format of 1 hour. So thank you everybody for participating, and a short reminder to the viewers who can still watch the Vulturi din Țaga documentary until tomorrow evening on the KineDok platform. So do it. We all recommend the film very heartily. Cheers to everybody, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for the conversation.
Thank you very much.